This time on ChinnyVision, Sugar's Folly. Yes, we all know Alan Sugar from The Apprentice, Amstrad CPC creator. He could have came up with the concept, didn't he? And oversaw it. And he's famous for his catchphrases on TV such as, "You're sacked," and "Get your cards." At one stage, controlling a third of the computer market in Europe. Think about that. 1987-88, a third of the entire European computer market down to this man. And thanks to Ryder Computers, by the way, link below, for this wonderful ChinnyVision mouse mat. Just turned up out the blue. They took the graphic off the channel and put it onto a mouse mat. Anarchs among you will know Test Card J is not suitable for widescreen or indeed 4K. So, what was Sugar's Folly then? Well, no, not that one. Yeah, not that one either. No, what we've got is... ta-da! A trio of Sugar's Follies. Let's get rid of the other ones and have a look at this one. The Amstrad emailer. Right, so what does this emailer have in common before we open it with the GX4000 and the Amstrad pen pad? Well, it was Alan Sugar's own idea. He saw a gap in the market. He thought he saw a gap in the market. And as with the others, he thought there's an opportunity for Amstrad to come in here and just steal a march on all our competition. GX4000, a British games console that had the support of UK software houses, and that was the idea. People like Ocean and US Gold and Domark all felt locked out of the Sega and Nintendo system, so it was quite appealing for them, for Amstrad to come along and go, hey, anyone can be on our console. The pen pad, well, filofaxes were popular at the time, and what better way than to have an electronic filofax with handwriting recognition? Wouldn't that be cool? And Amstrad didn't even know what Apple were up to with theirs. And then with this, dial-up internet was very popular at the time, but you needed a lot of tech knowledge to get online. Not so much by 2000 when this device came up, but certainly when I went online in 95, it was the Demon Internet Suite, dial-up modems, and if you wanted to do it from Windows, you needed WinSock and all sorts of other things. And it was still a little bit complicated for people who didn't understand computers, especially the elderly, come 2000 when this device launched. And that was the idea. People mocked this when it came out as being a completely ludicrous device. Why would you want a phone that had email, internet, games and SMS on it? If you were mocking this, you weren't the intended audience. This was for people who didn't own computers. Believe it or not, we all carry our own computers with us today on our phones. And even Mrs. Chinny's elderly grandparents have a computer. Got Windows XP on it, but they've got a computer and they can get email and do things with it. But back then, unless you actively sought these things out, and this was something that you could buy for grandma and give to her and she could have email. So what we got on the box then? And I have opened this up once already, but only because it arrived with no padding at all. I've got this from eBay. Don't know if it works. All I've done is open it up and have a look. What does the box promise? Well, it promises us email, internet, SMS, text, games, ringtones, all for £79. This one may have cost slightly more because it's the Plus. This is the second model. On the side, we have up to 8 secure addresses, internet pay-as-you-surf, two-way SMS texting. And by the way, when I say pay-as-you-surf, of course, you'd have dial-up costs anyway if you were on certain internet service providers. And if you were on CompuServe or AOL, then you'd be paying a lot more potentially than a standard dial-up. Secure credit card transaction ready. Digital answering machine, hands-free speakerphone, 700 name address book, download and play games, low-cost phone call facility. Download ringtones. The emailer is designed for installation in the UK only. It would not operate on overseas telephone exchanges. Ooh. AmServe support on the side there. Got the same things on the back, and it's just all patched together with tape. And there you go, that's it. Up right there. Trying to read this from over here. The emailer is subsidised by the use of the email service, as is similarly the case with most mobile phones. The sending or collecting of email is a minimum cost of 15p per session, plus your local call per minute. A session can both send and collect waiting emails at the same time. Note that several email messages may be sent or collected in a single session or at the same per session cost. Oh, I can't see that, sorry. So that you don't miss any email, the daily email call will result in a charge of 17 pence per day on your phone bill. On quarterly bills, this charge may be shown as approximately 90 separate daily calls. This thing is dialing up once per day, if you like it or not, at a cost of 17 pence per day. The cost of internet surfing is 5 pence per minute at all times. There's additional services as well. It's making money for Amstrad every time it dials up. It dials a company called Amserve, and Amserve took a little bit of money from each phone call, and that's how this thing cost only £79 at launch, because Amstrad was selling it at a subsidised rate. Let's get it open, have a look a bit more, and then we'll talk a bit more about that subsidised phone call cost. I have had it out, but I've not done anything with it or looked at it. It came completely loose in the box. The person who sent this to me was a complete and utter moron. What have we got in here? Manual. Get this down here and have a look. Oh! We've got an old t-shirt. I'm sure, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my life. Is that what I think it is? Please be a t-shirt, please be a t-shirt, please be a t-shirt. Oh god. It's a man's pants! Oh! Holy crap! Oh dear. Oh God. Why? Just... You couldn't make this up. How is there a pair of pants, men's pants? I haven't done the eBay feedback yet, but I'm going to thank them for leaving a pair of men's pants in with the emailer. Oh God. I'm imagining now that I've considerably edited the things I was saying whilst getting rid of the dirty pants. I didn't need that in my life. I really didn't. Anyway, Amstrad emailers. We've got an Amstrad power supply, which would be good for burning dirty pants because it'd probably burst into flames. Amstrad power supply, it's 28 volts. 28 volts at 280 milliamps. Wow. Let's see, a 28 amp volt. Oh, it's got triangular security screws as well. Here's the main unit. And look, it's got a thing. And we've got a manual as well here, which I imagine comes with a little greeting from Lord Sugar himself. If you have children, it's your responsibility to prevent accessing websites and services that are suitable for adults only, because the porn on this thing is going to be fantastic, isn't it? Important. You have no chance of operating this unit unless you refer to this book. In particular, before using this unit, you must carry out the installation and registration procedures. The emailer will not work until installation and registration have been completed. This thing's not going to work, is it? Because Amserve have closed down since 2011. So we are 8 years late. The emailer was designed for installation in the UK only, blah, 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 blah. It's a 161-page manual for a telephone. Oh, new feature, copy mail. Copy Mail gives you the option of having all your incoming and outgoing email copied to an additional email address free of charge. Oh, Amstrad being really generous. They're giving a second, copying facility for your email. Yeah. There's quite a lot in this book, and I imagine the kind of people who buy a device like this are not going to read it. Oh. Well, someone's phone number on there. OneTel, I'd like to point this out to BT customers. You can save £81 a year with OneTel. Anyway, don't need that. Right, let's look at the unit itself. So we've got a traditional handset. That's a very weighty handset. There, that's a really weighty handset. It's nice. That feels nice. And the weight's in the top there. Is it? No, it is. It's a nice textured plastic as well to hold on to. And also down here, so you've got a little keyboard there. We've got a thing down there that says key. Oh! Well, that slipped out. A little keyboard. It's rubber keyed. Ooh. Well, this is nice. It's rubber, but not like Sinclair rubber. It's very much harder than that, although it does have that kind of tactile feel of a normal keyboard. It's a hybrid, really. It's rubber keyed, but it's not like it feels much more definite when you press a key than the Sinclair keyboard. You've got a little connector there, which is proprietary, I assume. Oh yeah, four little things there, 4 little connectors there. Can only go in one way. Amstrad made for use with emailer only, made in People's Republic of China. Might be a little bit of hacking opportunity there on these little keyboards. Probably not worth it. You can buy keyboards like that all over the place, can't you, really? And the keyboard has buttons for the various features, including the store, setup, services, games, internet, and all the keys you'd want as well to do various things. And that slides back in there. And you just put it out when you want it, and helpfully it says keyboard on the end as well. And the screen flips up there. I think that's a black and white screen. We will find out very shortly. Or you can order a pocket docket as well for the unit. I think that's the kind of email accessory that bolts on the side. A docking station for the unit. Well, on the back you have, if you can see in there, it's quite dark, you have telephone line, little blocking off thing there for something or other, power supply, EXP, don't know what that is, and a USB printer, so you can print off to USB devices. How is it going to have the drivers for that unless there's some kind of standardized thing? I'm betting that doesn't work with much. We have a button on the screen there, and kind of nice little keyboard here as well, just nice buttons, plastic telephone buttons, quite definite again as well, don't feel too cheap, and you've got your voicemail stuff there. Why bother putting another keyboard there? I mean, you've got one down there, right, underneath. It's fallen out. You've got another one there, right? Why bother having a keyboard there? That's not like Amstrad to waste money on 2 keyboards. That keyboard's horrible. That is a rubber, nasty, not very definite keyboard that the elderly are going to have problems with. And you've got your function buttons there. Oh, I've lost my thing out the back. I've gone cordless with my Amstrad. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Before I do plug it in, just look at the notice I found on this power supply. Does that look familiar? Do not switch on until the other end is plugged into the emailer. Amstrad's still feeling the effects of the GX4000 problems, where people did precisely the opposite of that, and their GX4000s failed. And hence my GX4000 has one of those labels on it, just like this. Right, I'm over here by the plug. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Oh, got a graphic. Let me come around here. Past the bag of pants. Emailer Plus Personal Communications Centre. And here we go. And we've got services for greeting cards, psychic readings. UCI Cinemas, Interflora, useful numbers. Is it touchscreen? Of course it's not. It's Amstrad. It's 2001. Let's get you in on the screen so you can see a bit better. Right, so I don't have a phone line conveniently next to me. So how far we get with this, I don't know. But this is the screen you will get when you first turn it on. If you pick up register, restore service to use telephone. That's not going to work. Press email button to get connected. Welcome to registration. This will take about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. At the end of registration, you'll be given your new email address. Now slide out the keyboard from under the emailer. You'll need to type in your responses during registration. During registration, you'll often need to change the page. Use the arrow keys to highlight next and then press enter. Okay. Are you using your emailer at home or in the office? H for home, O for office. I'm going to use it at home. Do you currently subscribe to Call to Display service? No. With Call to Display, you can do automatic notifications, blah, 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 blah. Don't care. Enter. Please check the phone line is plugged in correctly. How far am I going to get with this? Because even if I connect it to a phone line, it's not going to work, is it? There's also a smart card slot inside I hadn't seen as well. For some kind of device or other. Perhaps like that card reader thing they were talking about. We could go and try and plug this into a phone line, I suppose. I don't think we're going to get very far. I'll have to go and find a phone socket to do that. Which is going to be fun. I'm going to do this. 2 seconds. Crappy camera phone time because I'm miles away from, well, the phone socket's miles away, basically. So apologies for the wobbly camera. We are going to do, and I'm going to do handheld. I'm going to try and register this. It's not going to work, but it is plugged into a phone line. But you can't even make a call. So if you're burning to death and need to phone the fire brigade, you've got a bit of a problem. Right, so enter to continue. Home. No. Enter to continue. It's going to connect. Sorry for the shaky footage again, it's just not. It's not going to work. I mean, it can't connect. So I don't know how far we're going to get. But does it know it can't connect and then go, fair enough, mate, you can use me? Hang on, it's given up. Look, unable to access the Amstrad registration service. It's possible that the number has been changed since the phone was made last used. Press enter, try again, press del if you make a type. So this is how far you're going to get, I think. It's not going to go further than that. It wants a number and it will not budge unless it gets that number. So, as you've seen from my dodgy camera phone footage, the device wants to register itself and there is no way it will let you use any function, even make a phone call, without it actually being registered. Which could be annoying for a power cut as well, actually, because there's no battery backup. So every time you lose the power, it will seemingly want to re-register itself. The entire device is absolutely tied to Amstrad and having AmServe there to make it function. There might be some hacking potential in here. I don't know. Presumably you could do something, but it's beyond me. If you buy one of these things on eBay, then all you're getting is a very pretty kind of grayscale clock, because it literally cannot do anything at all. Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much. So let's just refer to this as Alan's Folly now, because, yeah. So this model here was launched in 2002. The original one was launched in 2000, and there's an E3 Superphone, which had video phone capabilities, launched in 2004. It is a pay-as-you-use business model, and Alan Sugar basically subsidised, or Amstrad subsidised each unit on the basis that it will be phoning home every day and costing you money. So, and the register I've got some paperwork here from the register who said that basically it would cost you £150 a month for average usage. If you just did a few things in their review, I know it's only a small cost per day, but if you actually started to use it as a proper email system, the register estimated it would cost you £150 a month. In fact, it was regarded as the register by Alan Sugar's obsession. Right, because this is ChinnyVision, I'm going to open her up and we're going to have a look at and see what's inside. Amstrad made massive losses on this device. I think like 25, or it wasn't Amstrad, Amserve. Amserve lost about £25 million across about 4 years on this device. Alan Sugar still not repentant about this device as well. Although it lost Amstrad a load of money, they sold them for £79 initially. He still maintains, oh, well, it broke it even in the end, which is some kind of hot take by Alan there on how well the device performed. There must be another screw in here somewhere, or is it going to just open up on these two? Is there a... I'm not... Oh! That comes off there. That's a separate bit. And that keyboard must be on some kind of connector in there as well. Oh dear, let's have a bit of an investigate. 2 seconds. Bob Watkins is rumoured to have left Amstrad over this because it became a bit of Alan Sugar's fixation. Indeed, one of his financial reports one year, the register said that he basically devoted most of it to ranting on about the emailer and saying how emailer phase 4 was coming along. So there were 3 models. This is the second one. The first one was the more basic model with the smaller screen. Then there's this one. Then there's the colour one with video calling facility. There's hidden screws behind the feet. That's the problem. So yeah, Amstrad sold up in, when was it? 2009, 2010, something like that. And BSB took over the Amserve service and they shut it down a year later. I think it was June 2010. It shut down. And the one thing you could do when it ceased was if your emailer was connecting to Amserve, they'd send a configuration change which shut down all the services but let you use the thing as a basic phone with voicemail and or answer phone and stuff. Let's go and see what Alan's delights lie within. Oh, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Wow. Right, so I've got this bit out here. I thought it might be the main board, but of course it's not. The main board's all hidden in there. This is the card reader. Don't know, some kind of smart card device there. Let's see if I can get the can off of this one and see what's going on. Unplug some of these wires. A lot of wires there. Right, I got the metal can off the main board here. And what do we have here? This is the brains of an Amstrad Emailer Plus. And look, we've got an ARM chip. It's got something in common with an Acorn Archimedes. Not the cool factor, but it does have an ARM chip. Let's get you in closer. Hopefully you're in focus there. You've got a much better view of this than I have. It's a sharp ARM chip, and I can't see date codes there. We've got some other chips around there. Looks like telecoms. Connexent, does that say? Another Connexent chip down there. And what looks like some RAM going on over here as well. And the usual array of capacitors and resistors and things and telephony stuff that you need to protect yourself from the phone line with. And underneath we have some a couple of big, that's a big cap there. And we also got down there another couple of caps there. They're probably related to the phone line. The computer won't need, well, the computer side of this won't need those. So they're probably related to the phone line. You've got the phone jack over there. What's that? Yeah, that's the phone jack there and the power supply bits there as well. There might be power supply. There might be a big capacitor for the power supply, maybe, to stop any short voltage outages causing the thing to reset. That would be quite likely. actually. Let me see if I can trace that. Yeah, that big one there looks like it's on the input there. So I would imagine that's something just to smooth things out, power outages, so he doesn't have to keep on dialing home every time it resets. But there's not a lot to it really. This is the brains of it, in effect. That's what the emailer is, this and a screen and a whole load of wires inside. I don't know what to say. I was one of the people who said at the time, well, look, for most people, this device isn't suitable. But I can see a device. Alan Partridge had one of these devices in his static home. Maybe in the original emailer. But the fact I cannot use this device today, the fact it's so tied to Amstrad, the fact that if you needed to dial 999 in a fire and you'd lost the phone connection or power and it'd come back up, you're burning to death, while Alan Sugar says to you, welcome to the registration process. This is going to take 20 minutes. Take a good idea and completely and utterly screw it up. Sell the device for more. Sell it as an all-in-one convenient device with all this stuff built in. Don't do it as a subsidised thing. Horrible. And if you see one on eBay, any of the versions, all you can do is buy it to look at it, because you're not going to do anything with it. And I'd be very interested if anyone's actually hacked one of these to make it work as a normal phone, even put some kind of custom OS on there. I think there was some kind of hacking community until people realised that it was very underpowered. To think, this is how Amstrad ended up. Starting off selling car aerials and things in the back of a van, into hi-fi and home computing and stuff like that, innovative bits of kit, and ending up selling pieces of tap that fleece granny and grandad for 20p a day plus all the extras in their own homes. This device, I'm afraid, is a piece of electronic tat that you can't even buy and use these days, and was purely designed to extract money from your wallet or your purse by Lord Sugar. It's not just Sugar's folly, it actually shows the total and utter demise of a once great company. Alan, you're fired.